matter as required by the employment contract. I therefore wish to report that the employer eventually, after the pressure, took up the matter, and the body of Ms. Mildred Busolo Licenza was repatriated to Kenya on Thursday, 9th May 2024. I submit.
Thank you, Cabinet Secretary. Senator Boni Halone, you have an opportunity now to clarify any issues that you have through asking two questions. You could ask one now and one later, or you could ask both of them right away to the Cabinet Secretary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would want to ask two questions. One now, then give colleagues an opportunity to raise their issues, then the second one at the end. The first one, Madam Speaker, it is the policy of the government, at least going by the pronouncements of the President on many occasions, that we try and assist as many youth as possible to get employment opportunities outside the country. Madam Speaker, is it not shocking that despite that policy, the Prime Cabinet Secretary is not able to tell the country the identities of the Kenyans working outside the country? Madam Speaker, that a whopping 316 of them have died while out of the country. It shows, Madam Speaker, that this answer will not only bolster the employers who in one way or the other contribute to the death of these people, but also it will discourage parents from yes, Speaker, I know where you're going.
Senator, you do not know where I'm going, Senator Boni, because I have not indicated.
Yes.
I want you to phrase your question. What you're giving now are views or debating the matter. You must phrase a clear, concise, precise question.
Yes, Madam Speaker, on a complex issue like this of death, I believe senators are allowed to build the question. I was building the question, and let me leave it there. Let me not build it any further.
We have 3 cabinet secretaries today coming to answer many questions of varied matters of national importance. I would beg that you make it precise and short and clear so that it's possible for the Prime Cabinet Secretary to respond.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, what I was building to is that could this Cabinet Secretary be compelled to table the list of all Kenyans working in these Gulf states so that the parents and relatives can be reassured that the government is on top of things as far as their lives are concerned?
Prime Cabinet Secretary, please respond.
It's gone again. Okay. Madam Speaker, I wish to state that we can, based on the records we have within the embassies, avail, because we are talking of about 400,000. In fact, to be precise, 416,058 individuals. We can work on having this brought to the Senate. I can only appeal on one issue, that as we give the identities, Madam Speaker, you'll also need to guide on aspects of whether we'll be breaching some aspects of the data identity issues by tabling all the 400,000. That's the only question. But we are prepared to be able to give this list.
Maybe to give a guide on that, tabling of that data will be subject to the Data Protection Act. So the data may be tabled but subject in compliance with the existing laws within those parameters so that the individuals are equally protected as that evidence is being given. And then it will be subject to release or examination to the senator who is requesting for it, not for public display, without the consent of the individuals who are working in the Gulf. Thank you. Honorable Senators, you now have an opportunity to ask questions, but make sure you are not building the way Senator Boni Halwale was building to save on time so that we can accommodate many more. Senator Derito Pienywa.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The question that I wanted to ask is the same question that Bonnie asked. We needed specific, at least I'm happy that it tabulated the numbers. I wanted specific, what are our people, the 400 people, what are they doing in terms of profession? Are they teachers? Are they doctors? Are they house helps, Madam Speaker? And again, do our embassies, when we travel outside, when we meet with our people, most of the people that we talk to, they don't seem that they are facilitated by our embassy. Our embassy, most of them, Madam Speaker, they complain that they are humiliated in our embassies. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Prime Cabinet Secretary.
Madam Speaker, the workers are varied. There are some that are highly skilled professionals. They range from highly skilled professionals, and we also have some that are engaged in the service sector. Some are laborers. So it's very broad. But as we said, we will, subject to the guidance that the Madam Speaker has given, we will be able to provide a background on this. The second aspect I would want to say is that we have our missions trained to give all the assistance that we can possibly give. And I can assure Kenyans that if indeed there are any incidents of what might be seen as a lack of courtesy, they are very limited. Most of the mission staff in our embassies have been very, very courteous to the Kenyan citizens abroad.
Thank you. Senator Osotsi Godfrey.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me to thank Prime Cabinet Secretary, my county, and a friend for appearing before the Senate. I represent a county that has a problem, a major problem with what we are discussing now, Madam Speaker. And I think every year we have in excess of 12 people, cases which are reported to me. And on various occasions, Madam Speaker, I have brought questions and even engaged the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on the same. So what I would request the Prime Cabinet Secretary is if it is possible to give a breakdown of these figures per county so that we can understand the extent of the problem. Number two, in the process of dealing with this problem that is common in my county, there are occasions where we are told that some of these people travel to those countries through unregistered cartels of some recruitment agencies which are not licensed by the government. So there is every possibility that those who die and they were taken there by these recruitment agencies, possibly the government does not have their data. So what is the ministry doing about this? The issue of unregistered and unscrupulous recruitment agency who take advantage of the plight of these girls and boys to recruit them through illegal means, and then these people end up dying or harmed in those countries. What is the government doing about this matter?
Cabinet Secretary, respond to that.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to state that definitely there were some challenges in the past, and we are trying to resolve them because we didn't have proper and accurate data. But I can assure the House and the nation that through the Department of Diaspora and also working with the Immigration Department, we are now establishing more accurate data of the Kenyans that are traveling to various countries, including the Gulf states. Also on the websites of the State Department for Diaspora, we are able to indicate the licensed recruitment agencies, because in the past we have had cases where the Senator is right that unscrupulous people have taken advantage and landed our Kenyan people in very difficult situations. So we are trying to streamline this. And in between, let me also just notify the Senate that we are also improving on our negotiation on what you'd call the labor or employment agreements with various countries. And we are making them much better, much more refined, so that the safeguards can be provided for our Kenyans. And the classic example now is in Germany, where we are just about to conclude an agreement of a labor framework or employment framework, and we are refining even those that relate to the Gulf and other states. Equally, Madam Speaker, I want to mention to the House here, the Senate, that the points they are raising are valid and important, because one of the things we intend to do is to be able to have a sessional paper that will be brought to Parliament, and some of these issues we would like to draw from the knowledge and experience of Parliament, so that we can improve on how we engage with foreign countries on some of these issues. But we are making steps to change the situation.
Okay, thank you. Senator George Ungai Bogwa.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.